Hello everyone, welcome to the June vlog of 2023, and you join me sat in my car with the engine running, just because I was cleaning it, and it's kind of warm today, even though it is actually raining. I don't know if you can see the rain droplets on there, but I just thought I'd give you a brief little rundown of this car, very briefly. I'll do a better one in the future as time goes by, but as you can see, the wheel does actually move, but the centre section doesn't, which is something that a lot of people point out first, that they think it's strange, but you know, it's something you get used to, and I quite like it, to be fair. And yes, for American viewers, the wheel is on this side and not on that side. That would be strange to me if that was true. We also have here, this is actually a fridge, a refrigerator, so you can put your stuff in here when the engine's running and it will keep it cool, which is always pretty cool. You also have your radio and thing and controls and things under here. And also, it has things like a speed limiter and whatnot going on over the top of it, like that. So it's easy to, you know, control the speed when you're driving. That doesn't make any sense, does it? But you wouldn't. I rarely have it on anyway. But of course, you have compartments here, compartments there, and everywhere. And your full display on here. Of course, I do have my own accessory set up on here, so I have my sat nav attached to here, even though it's not attached right now, and this is for my dash cam, and of course a mirror to see ARIA, and it's kind of wired in, not very well I might add, but still it's wired in. And it also has individual you know, air conditioning units, so one side can be warm and the other side can be cool, and we've tested that and it actually does work, as well as the very large back end as well with the 7 seats, which is also pretty cool. But there is so much to go through, but my time it sat here because I got the engine running, don't want to waste my fuel, is limited, so I'll just leave it at that, and I'll do more on the car as time goes on and mention things. Of course, we have air conditioning control units over here and a phone holder right there, and of course my gear shifter, I don't have anything down here except for cup holders and things, and actually I do have a little trash can that sits on there as well. So, you know, my gear selector is here, which is really strange. It doesn't have a D, that it just has A, M, and N, and R, which is really strange, actually. But yeah, it's unique, and definitely one of the biggest cars. If you look, this is my perspective, and as you can see, there is a huge dashboard in front of me, which is very difficult or very hard to get used to. Now anyway, I'm going to stop now and move on to the next part of the vlog, because people are going to be looking at me like I'm an idiot. And also, manual shifter is actually here. You have paddles like my simulator on each side of the wheel, which is unique, convenient, to be fair. Okay, I've gone through the basics, I think. There is a lot more to it. There's compartments and things hidden all over the car which you can use to store things, because it is an MPV. And I'll just turn off the engine like that, and as soon as I do that, it gets hot. And of course, all of the windows are electric and whatnot, and of course it does have a I've turned the power off, but it has a rear view windscreen wiper and things like that, and also armrests, which is welcome on both of them. I do need to do my upholstery cleaner, to be fair. It looks a little bit off on camera, doesn't it, in real life though? It looks perfect in real life, but through the camera it looks like it needs cleaning, but it doesn't. That does, because I need new ones, new carpet protector things. But yeah, this needs cleaning as well. I need to, like I said, I need to come in with the upholstery cleaner again. It's when my dad's been getting in here and touching things with his hands and things, and so have I. Also have a steering wheel protector, because I want to protect the steering wheel, because it was in perfect condition when I got in. I want to keep it that way. Of course, you have your limiter and your cruise control on here as well, so it can drive itself. Not like a what do you call it? A Tesla, but it can definitely keep itself going anyway. Of course, you've got your phone controls, and you've got your radio controls and your computer controls, which control the computer over here and whatnot. So these open by pressing it like this. Got nothing in there at the moment, but yeah, pretty cool. But anyway, I've talked for way too long. Moving on. So I won't continuously go on about driving again in this video. No, the last vlog was completely just like driving this car, that, because it was new and, you know, whatever. But having that car and being able to practice in it with my dad on a regular basis and having my driving lessons and things has essentially made me a much better driver and ready for my test. Apparently, according to my instructor, things are going quite well. Something that I was on a, things are marked from 1 to 5. I was on a 2 for reverse parallel parking. The next lesson after, 5. Straight to top marks. And he says that after the next lesson, which is going to be reversing back on the right, there is going to be test routes. We're going to do test routes. And essentially he says that you're getting close to being test ready, which is fantastic. So eventually, in October, because that's when my test is and I can't really move it at the moment, I'm going to be driving that car permanently by myself without having to have someone sat with me. Yeah, it's going to be good. But anyway, that's all I'm going to go on about cars. And there's a thunderstorm right now, so just come in from cleaning the inside of the car and showing you inside of it a bit. And it's thunderstorming outside, even though you can't really hear it because this room's kind of soundproof, so yeah, moving on. However, as far as moving house is concerned, we're running into quite a few hurdles with houses being available, and then we don't get the house because it goes to someone else, because it's kind of like one of those first come, first serve kind of things. So we are still waiting to move. And with all of this stuff piled up here, it's a little annoying because all I've got on display right now is my miraculous stuff, the robot boy, of course, and robot girl. A couple things over there with just kind of messy. It's just really messy in here. The whole house is just kind of in disarray at the moment because we are packing. We're packing, and so everything's messy and we don't really have the energy to tidy anything up. Things are clean, but just cluttered. That's what I'm trying to say. And today is actually Father's Day in the UK, so I've started this vlog quite late into this month. And it's been a good Father's Day. Naomi's had to go to work, and Arya's fallen asleep, so she was watching Chipmunks on the tablet that we have, and she fell asleep. And yeah, she loves Alvin and the Chipmunks, which is really good because of us being a huge fan of the franchise and doing the voices from a certain point of view. So yeah, pretty good. Right, yes, and the job, a little bit of an update on the job. As of this part of the vlog, I have 2 weeks left of the job because it's a temporary contract. I go back to it every year, if you don't know, if you just joined the vlog. And basically, as soon as it ends, I will have paid off my car because, like I said, my mom paid for the car, and then I'm going to have to pay her back. So, almost done it. It's not the entire wage of the job, it's just kind of, or wages of the job, it's just a few weeks of it, but I'm saving it all and then paying her back, basically, and so you have to see how much I have left after it to buy other things and go on holiday and things and whatnot. So that's what's happening with the job. There's only 2 weeks left, like I said, and once it's over, I can finally get back to doing Monkcast stuff and whatnot, which will be really, really cool. Because you guys love watching the Monkcast, apparently. And I can also concentrate once again, on my driving stuff. It goes without saying that I will have finished the job by the end of this vlog, which is kind of sad, because, you know, you're there for so long, and then it just suddenly comes to an end out of nowhere. But yeah, that's going to be documented in this vlog at some point, so going on the bus every day while having to walk past my car was frustrating. But next year when I go there, because like I said, I always go back, I will be 100%, if I pass in October or not, I'll just do it again until I do. I'll be 100% taking that car to work and everywhere else that I go. So, yeah, it's interesting to think about. Right now I'm at the job, 2 weeks left. But by the end of this vlog, it'll be over. Anyway, moving on. We just got back from another drive, or practice driving in my car. And it went pretty well, didn't it? Yeah. Apart from the fact that I almost got hit. Don't play with that. No. That's car polish. Don't play with car polish. Yes, we almost got hit by a mail van because the road was closed and there is roadwork signs and you can't see the oncoming cars. That's seen better days, hasn't it? And because I struggled to see the cars, I could not see it. I thought it was clear, okay? And there were cars coming up and I thought, okay, now it's clear. So I decided to go. And of course, another car almost ran into me because they couldn't see me either. He pipped his hooter, or his hooter. I haven't said hooter since I was 5. His horn, and I kind of just apologised because, you know, it's his right of way. It's these things that you've got to kind of get out of your system before you pass your test. It's a good thing I have 3 months left to really grind out the fine details of driving. But yeah, got some food, got a parcel for next door, that's not ours. And yeah, so, okay, moving on. So, I haven't vlogged anything for about, I don't know, 3 weeks. I think I might have, but just can't remember. I know this vlog's pretty short, depending on how long the other clips are. I know there's one that's like really long. But we've had a heat wave in the UK and everything, and I've just not been bothered. I've been working and working and working. That I haven't really had time to do anything other than work and sleep. Now I know how pretty much everyone else feels. However, this job does begin at 4 AM, or at least I have to get up at 4 AM every single morning, and it's been a pain in the... yeah, just the whole time it's been horrible. I've been sleepy most of the times at work. Only the occasional day will I be energetic enough to actually meet my targets and things, because we've got targets in at the job. But as of this section of the vlog, I have approached the last day, or at least it's the night before the last day. And it's going to be a little bit bittersweet because as much as it's been a pain in the... This is a family channel, sort of. I'm going to miss it, I always do. But this year, and I hate to keep going on about it, is the last year I'm taking the bus to this job. Because it is a temporary job, but I do it every year. And next year I'll be doing it again, because I always do. I always go back, they know me there, and everything. But yes, like I said, I'll get to the point. This year is the last year I'm ever taking the bus there. In fact, it's probably the last time I'm ever going to take a bus, period, because normally I take taxis everywhere. But yeah, I'm going to be driving my car to that job next year when I've passed my test in October. Perhaps before October if I can bring the test forward. And I hope I pass, actually. I'm confident that I will. You have to be confident, right? But, you know, if I don't, then that'll be disappointing, but I'll just try again in a month, because you have to wait a month now before you can try again, I think. So yeah, hopefully I'll pass first time. We shall see. I'm pretty confident with driving now, but that's not going to keep going on about driving all the time. This is about the last day of the job, and if I remember to vlog anything about it tomorrow, I will. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do the last day of my job for this year. And there is other news as well, which is rather important. Unfortunately, I've had another one of my relatives, another aunt on the same side of the family, pass away with cancer. And I can't vlog any of it because I certainly won't. And her funeral, is on Friday, which is day after tomorrow, the day after my last day at the job. And it's been hard because I wanted to see her while she was in hospital or a hospice, and I couldn't because I was working all the time. And they even asked me to work on the day of her funeral, and I was like, no. Because my job it was supposed to end on Friday, but they said, okay, it was going to end on Thursday now. And then they called me back and said, do you want to work Friday? Actually, never mind. And I was like, no, sorry, I have a funeral to go to. It's my aunt, and she was also my godmother, which is a whole like Christian thing. I'm not strictly speaking religious, but it's just one of those traditional things. in my kind of family, and she was my godmother. So, in law, it would mean that if anything was to happen to my parents, that she would become my sort of surrogate parent. But of course, she is no longer with us, and it's mind-numbingly sad and hard. And okay, so you did see a little bit of the wake, which is a celebration of life. If you don't know what that is, or if you've never been to one, or you're too young to know what it is, or whatever, then that's what that is. It's just a celebration of life where you get together, you drink, you feast, you eat, and remember the person who passed away. And it was great. It was, sorry, I know I'm doing this, but it was great. It was just so good to see people I hadn't seen since the 90s, or at least 2000s, just kind of back, just out of nowhere. Some of them didn't even look like they aged today, which was interesting actually, because I was a little kid last time I saw some of them. But no, it was really, really good to see them all again. And it's kind of one of those things where, especially in my family anyway, that it takes a death in the family for everyone to come together. So we've actually all agreed not to let that happen again, and kind of keep in touch and come together. My mother today went out for a meal with my cousin because, with my cousin and the rest of some of the other parts of the family, because he lives in Abu Dhabi, which is kind of like a city, I think, near Dubai, because he lives there for work, I believe. And I hadn't seen him in years, and he was there with his kids and his wife, who I'd never met, and it was really interesting because, well, I hadn't seen them in so long, or ever, really. I've met my cousin before, obviously, but I mean, it was just so good to see how their life had progressed. So yeah, so other than that, the job that I started and have been talking about throughout this vlog is over. It ended the day before the wake. In fact, the wake was about 2 days ago from today. Totally forgot about the vlog again. But if you can hear a noise in the background as well, it's my fan. I have to mention it because I know that no one will mention it. The 300 people that watch these. But it's the fan, that if you can hear a noise. I've got a fan on because I like to circulate the air in this room, because I've got a big pile of boxes from moving, as you know, as you've just watched. So yeah, the job was bittersweet of an ending. You know, I said goodbye to everyone, to see you next year, to some of them, because they said, oh, they're definitely coming back next year. I says, yes, I'll be coming back next year as well. And now the focus is on the Munk cast, even though that's miraculous, as you can see on the background there. And my driving lessons, essentially. But like I've said countless times throughout this vlog, my test is in October, and that's kind of when I have to focus on that, just gradually in the background. I won't keep on mentioning it. I said I wasn't going to do it in this vlog, but I've done it throughout the entire vlog, constantly talking about driving. It's getting on my nerves, so I'm just going to kind of stop that now and concentrate on other things for the next vlog. Because as of this part here right now, it is vlog over.